Hello, hello guys. This is EIP, and this is going to be my first podcast, and it is about trading against the herd. How to swim against the tide without getting drowned. So let me start the podcast. So first of all, I would like you to welcome to Everything is Planned, the podcast where we teach you how to zig when everyone else is zagging. I'm EIP, your host, and today we are diving into a topic that could either make you a financial genius or, leave you eating instant ramen for a few months, trading against the herd. Yes, that is right. We are talking about how to spot the crowd, laugh in its face, and hopefully not end up crying alone in a corner. So before we get started, if you enjoy this podcast and want more ridiculous but incredibly insightful content, kindly hit subscribe and check out my website, Everything is Planned, where I promise the advice is 100% serious, unlike this intro. Now, let's get to it, shall we? So, the first segment is about the herd mentality, or why humans are basically lemmings. Alright, so what exactly is herd mentality? Well, picture this. You are at a party and you see everyone heading towards desert table like a stampede of sugar deprived wildebeest. You're thinking, hey, I should probably go too. Maybe there's a chocolate fountain or something. That's herd mentality in a nutshell. In the financial world, the desert table is a hot stock, the latest meme coin, or whatever your uncle keeps telling you about Thanksgiving dinner. The herd rushes in because of one magical word, FOMO, the fear of missing out. But here's the thing, by the time everyone else is in line for chocolate fountain, the chocolate's probably gone, and all that's left is weird gelatin thing nobody wants. The same goes for stock and the stock market. So, the moral of the story is don't always follow the herd, or you will end up with financial gelatin, and no one wants that. Segment number two, the contrarian mindset. Because who doesn't want to be weirdo? Okay, now let's talk about being a contrarian. This is basically when you see the entire herd running one way and you decide to do the financial equivalent of running in the opposite direction. Flailing your arms and yelling, "You're all wrong!" Sounds fun, right? A contrarian investor is someone who's like, "Oh, everyone's buying this stock. Cool. I'm going to do the exact opposite and see what happens." This works surprisingly well. Kind of like pineapple on pizza. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay. Being a contrarian means having the courage to tell the herd, yeah, no thanks, I'll pass. But let's be real, it's not easy. You might look like a lunatic for a while. Your friends will ask, "Why are you selling that stock? Everyone's making money." And you will just have to smile and say, "Because I enjoy living dangerously." And by dangerously, I mean doing a lot of research and using logic. Kind of like James Bond, but with spreadsheet. Segment number three, example of contrarian heroes, aka people who made loads of money by saying, nah, I'm good. So let's look at some real examples of people who ignored the herd and walked away with pockets so deep that they probably tripped over them. So, how can we forget the dot com bubble? So, let's start with it. The late 90s, when people were buying up anything with dot com in the name. You could have launched bananasforsale.com and people would have thrown money at you. The herd was all in. But the smart contrarians, they were like, wait, this doesn't make sense. How does a company with zero revenue justify a $1 billion valuation? Do they at least have bananas even? And when the bubble burst, the herd went down. And those who were skeptical from the start, they were sitting there sipping their I told you so lattes. The second important event, the 2008 financial crisis. Remember 2008 financial crisis? Yeah, hard to forget. The herd was convinced that housing prices would keep going up forever because hey, why wouldn't they? Meanwhile, Michael Burry and few other smart cookies were like, ugh guys, this is a disaster waiting to happen. These mortgages are held together with duct tape and good vibes. And while the herd was riding the roller coaster to the bottom, the contrarians were chilling, counting their winnings. The lesson here? Sometimes the smartest move is to say, you know what? I'm just going to sit this one out and let everyone else crash into metamorphical wall. Or make billions betting against them, whichever works. Segment number 4, the risks. Because let's be honest, this could backfire hilariously. Alright, I know I'm making contrarian trading sounds like superhero move, but let's not pretend it's all rainbows and Ferraris. Trading against the herd is risky. For one, you might be wrong. That's right. Even contrarians have bad days. You might think, the herd is dumb, I'm so smart, and then herd keeps making money while you are sitting there with your contrarian genius hat looking a little too snug. And then the emotional toll. When you are trading against the crowd, it's a lonely place to be. You are basically sitting at the back of a financial classroom, raising your hand and saying, excuse me, sir, I think this is all a terrible idea. While everyone else is at the front high fiving, cashing in. If you are not confident in your strategy, you could fold faster than a cheap lawn chair. Segment number 5, how to be smart contrarian without losing your shirt. Okay, this is very important. So how do you do this without ending up eating nothing but beans and rice for the next decade? So here's the plan. Number 1, do your homework. Look, you can't just be a contrarian for the sake of being a rebel. That's a recipe for disaster. You need to actually know what you're doing. Research the fundamentals of stock or asset. Research, do some technical analysis, but not the normal technical analysis that you learn on internet. You have to do a unique one. Think of it like a planning a prank. You need to know when and where to strike. Number 2, pick your battles. Don't fight the herd on everything. You are not the financial Batman. Look for times when the market is seriously overreacting, like when it's throwing a tantrum because of a bit of bad news that doesn't actually affect the long-term value of a company or stock market. Number 3, stay calm. Patience is key here. Being a contrarian means you might look wrong for a while. You've got to keep your cool, like a poker player with a killer hand, except in this case, your hand is full of data, logic, and strategy. And remember, You're not trying to outsmart the entire world, just you know most of it. So, the final thoughts, it's not crazy if it works. So, to sum it up, trading against the herd can make you look like a mad genius or just plain mad. But if you do your homework, stay calm, and wait for the right moments, it can pay off big time. Just remember, the market's like a huge game of follow the leader, and sometimes the leader doesn't know where the heck they are going. So, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Everything is Planned. If you enjoyed the show, hit the subscribe button and never miss an episode. And don't forget to visit everythingisplanned.com for more wisdom. And until the next time, remember when the herd goes left, consider going right. Just try not to trip over your own feet in the process. And ta-dan! Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.